Okay, so I think you might notice that there's a little change here. I'd put the two black ones here and the two silvers back here. But I swapped one set so that the silvers are directly across from one another and the black ones are directly across. And this is going to be the front of the drone. And the battery will mount underneath back out like this. So, and it's going to mount underneath the drone. So there's going to be an open void in here that I may or may not fill with something. This could go inside, but it limits my access to these connections. I see there's an I2C slot, which is kind of cool. We got the GPS slot here, which I know I'm going to hook the GPS to. This should be the power that this is, basically right here. That's where that's going to hook in. And then we have telemetry, which I think I want to expand to that because I don't believe there's anything like that in this kit. But I do want to do that. GPS, like I said, in here. And I believe I've seen a video to where you can hook it into here and then the power into here, and you got to pull, I think, this jumper or put a jumper in or something. I've got to check into all of that and I'll look at it. And so what I'm looking at, or I'm assuming, here's going to be some inputs. And so this is kind of like a little PLC or Arduino to a certain extent, to where I've got inputs here. So I could theoretically put a radio control to something. And I've got outputs here, which they're going to be, I assume, let's see, I don't know. I assume that, each of my motors will hook in, and that's where the outputs will go. USB, we got a USB connector, I guess, for flashing and setting it up, and then S plus minus. So I don't know if maybe this is some kind of bus potentially to work on. I've got to do some research on this module to kind of figure out what is what exactly. Because so telemetry, GPS, power, and I2C. I'm thinking, so I'm going to need to put lights on here. I'm going to have the camera mounted up here on down below, and it's going to be on a gimbal to be able to change, rotate, move, and all that good stuff. So that'll have to be programmed into the controller and for this, and so I may have to come through these ports for those two servo motors. And speaking of motors, I believe these are AC motors. So the reason why I swapped these like this is because I was watching an assembly video on one of these. Now it's probably a more expensive and professional type kit, and they did this. So I'm doing it. I'm gonna mimic them, and if it's not needed to be done, then I did it and I didn't have to. Oh, that's reversed. So that is reverse threads. And tight, loose. So these are reverse threads from these. So I think that's right, because I don't really know how a drone flies, but I believe the rotation of the motors may be synced off or different, and so I believe the numbering would be motor 1, 2, 3, and 4. But again, I think these, and they made a reference that these are AC motors. And so that being the case, that would explain why this controller has no markings as to clockwise, counterclockwise, or whatever. Because with, say, a three-phase motor, and so I think I'm right with these being three-phase AC motors. With a three-phase AC motor, if the rotation is wrong, just go into the peckerhead. Well, okay, so peckerhead, it's the hump, the box on the side of an AC motor where all the wires hook together. That's, I don't know, we've just always called them peckerheads. Open it up and reverse any wire. Just take one wire connected, take two wires loose, any two wires, swap them, and the motor will run in the other direction. And then you can take one of the wires that you didn't take a loose first time and any one of the ones that you did and swap those, and it'll run back in the other direction. So they're ambidextrous, if you want to look at it that way. So an AC motor, a three-phase AC motor, you just swap any of the two leads and that reverses the direction. So I believe this wiring is going to be fine as is, because these are color coded coming out of here, and I hooked them up exactly the same on each one of these here. So potentially what I may need to do is to swap the red and yellow on the two black ones, or these two right here. That's my thought. I don't know, because I'm still figuring out what I'm doing. So let's see. I think we are at kind of a standstill for tonight. And by the way, it's night. It's very late here. And I'm going to go ahead and get the video so far up to this point uploaded to the computer so I can compile it and edit it and compile it and get it posted maybe tomorrow night. So you'll see the part 2, and there's probably going to be a part 3, 4, 5, because depending on how long it is, I may just break up each one of these steps into a part. And so where we're going to go from here is getting the controller mounted, and so that's where we will pick up again. And this controller, you see, forward. This is pointed forward, so this needs to be pointed towards the front of the drone. And so I'm gonna need some standoffs, because I don't want it just sitting here on top of these screws. And there's really no flat area, so I'm gonna do something. I may just get some really thick double-sided sticky tape and just, kind of build it up so it's above those screws and just mount it. And it'll be proud of the top of this plate. But what I want to do is I want to get, and I'm not 100% sure if this needs to be, but I want it perfectly centered in this top plate. So forward and back centered, left and right centered, this facing forward, because these two red ones I want to be the front of the drone. And here's my camera. My GPS will mount back here on this plate. And then as I figure out, because I'm going to have to tie a FPV camera in. And I don't know if that ties into this flight controller or exactly what. Or maybe I just need to get a different flight controller. Maybe I do need to grab one of them Pixhawks and just play, see what's what. But regardless, we're going to cut it down for right now. And I will continue working on this probably tomorrow, which is Sunday. And we'll make some more progress. And we're going to do it together. So all your comments, all your suggestions, and all your ideas, everything is needed. I need you. Comment below. Tell me what I did wrong, what I did right, what we need to adjust, how we need to adjust. Because this is the very first drone I've ever built. And so far it's gone really well. And the only parts that I have left hanging around, oh, that's the spare one that I bought. You've got the landing gear, the GPS, and the camera and gimbal stuff. So I think we will be mounting that stuff tomorrow. So anyway, there we have it. So apparently these are not needed because these are just kind of little keepers to pull that, to mark which is right and left-handed deals. And so if one of these spins backwards, what you'll effectively do is spin the rotor smooth off. So what I'll probably do is put some, I don't know, maybe some tape or something, and put these bolts on there for the purpose of checking rotation. But we're going to do all that tomorrow. So we'll see you tomorrow. How about that? Good night, guys. Your time is very important to me, and I thank you for spending it here with me. Thanks, and God bless.